your lecturer for our biology class today. Let us understand more about biology. Most biological sciences are specialized areas of study. Biology includes biochemistry, cell biology, microbiology, immunology, genetics, physiology, zoology, ecology, evolutionary biology, and botany. Ang dami palang branch ng biology. um, Biochemistry is the study of the chemicals that make up life. Cell biology is the study of life at the level of the cell. Microbiology is the study of microscopic organisms. Immunology is the study of an organism's resistance to disease. Genetics is the study of how organisms pass traits to their offspring. The study of how the human body works is called physiology. Zoology is the study of animals. The study of how organisms interact with their environment and each other is called ecology. Evolutionary biology is the study of how populations and species change over time. And botany is the study of plants. But today we're going to focus to the characteristics of life. Let us define what is life. Life is a quality that distinguishes matter that has biological processes such as signaling and self-sustaining processes from that which does not and is defined by the capacity for growth, reaction to stimuli, metabolism, energy transformation, and reproduction. Did you know that not all scientists agree exactly about what makes up life? Many characteristics describe most living things. However, with most of the characteristics listed below, we can think of one or more examples that would seem to break the rule, with something non living being classified as living or something living being classified as non living. There is not just one distinguishing feature that separates a living from a non living thing. A cat moves, but so does a car. A tree grows bigger, but so does a cloud. A cell has a structure, but so does a crystal. Biologists define life by listing characteristics that living things share. Something that has all of the characteristics of life considered to be alive. The duck decoy in figure below may look like a duck, act like a duck in that it floats about, but it is not alive. The decoy cannot reproduce, respond to its environment, or breathe. Characteristics of life. Biology examines the structure, function, growth, origin, evolution, and distribution of living things. It classifies and describes organisms, their function, how species come into existence, and the interaction they have with each other and with the natural environment. These are the principles of four unifying principles form the foundation of modern biology. These are cell theory, evolution, genetics, and homeostasis. To give us more insights about it, I will define each principle. First one is cell theory. It is a theory that states all living things are made up of cells, all life functions occur within cells, and all cells come from pre-existing cells. Second is evolution. It is a change in the heritable characteristics of biological populations over successive generations. These characteristics are the expression of genes that are passed on from parent to offspring during reproduction. Third one is genetics. It is a science of heredity or how traits are passed from parents to offspring. And the last one is homeostasis, and it is the process of maintaining a stable internal environment in a cell or an entire organism. Characteristics of living organisms. In biology, an organism is any organic living system that functions as an individual entity. These are the characteristics of living organisms. First one, we have responding to the environment. All living organisms respond to their environment. If you step on a rock, it will just lie there, but if you step on a turtle, it may move or even snap at you. Living things know what is going on around them and respond to changes in the environment. An adaptation refers to the process of becoming adjusted to an environment. Adaptations may include structural, physiological, or behavioral traits that improve an organism's likelihood or of survival and thus reproduction. Next is growth and change. All living organisms have the ability to grow and change. A seed may look like a pebble, but under the right conditions, it will sprout and form a seedling that will grow into a larger plant. The pebble, of course, will not grow. Even the smallest bacteria must grow. This bacteria will reproduce by dividing into two separate bacterium. If the parent bacterium does not grow, then each subsequent generation will just be smaller than the previous generation. Eventually, the bacteria will be too small to function properly. Next one is reproduction. All living organisms must have the ability to reproduce. Living things make more organisms like themselves. Whether the organism is a rabbit or a tree or a bacterium, life will create more life. If a species cannot create the next generation, the species will go extinct. Reproduction is the process of making the next generation and may be a sexual or an asexual process. Sexual reproduction involves two parents and the fusion of gametes, haploid sex cells from each parent. Sexual reproduction produces offspring that are genetically unique and increases genetic variation within a species. And asexual reproduction involves only one parent. It occurs without a fusion of gametes and produces offspring that are genetically identical to the parent. Next is have complex chemistry. All living organisms have a complex chemistry. A flower has a complicated and beautiful structure, so does a crystal, but if you look closely at the crystal, you can see no change. The flower, on the other hand, is transporting water through its petals, producing pigment molecules, breaking down sugar for energy, and undergoing a large number of other biochemical reactions that are needed for living organisms to stay alive. The sum of all chemical reaction in a cell is metabolism. Second to the last is maintain homeostasis. A human body has a temperature of 37 degrees Celsius or about 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit. If you step outside on a cold morning, the temperature might be below freezing. Nevertheless, you do not become an ice cube. You shiver, and the movement in your arms and legs allows you to stay warm. Eating food also gives your body energy it needs to keep warm. Living organisms keep their internal environments within a certain range, or they maintain a stable internal condition. Despite changes in their external environment, this process is called homeostasis and is an important characteristic of all living things. For the last one, we have built up cells. Organisms that are different, such as ferns, fish, and elephants, all look similar at the cellular level. A cell is the basic unit of structure and function of all living organisms. All living organisms are made of one or more cells. A simple bacterium will consist of just one cell, whereas you are made of trillions of cells. Organisms are organized in the microscopic level from atoms up to cells. The matter is structured in an ordered way. Atoms are arranged into molecules, then into micromolecules, which make up organelles, which work together to form cells. Beyond this, cells are organized in higher levels to form entire multicellular organisms. Cells together form tissues which make up organs, which are part of entire organisms. Of course, beyond this, organisms form populations which make up parts of an ecosystem. All of Earth's ecosystems together from the diverse environment that is Earth. Before I end this discussion, let us first recall the lessons we tackled earlier. For characteristics of life, biology examines the structure, function, growth, origin, evolution, and distribution of living things. The four unifying principles that form the foundation of modern biology is cell theory, evolution, genetics, and homeostasis. And for the characteristics of living organisms, we have responding to the environment, growth and change, reproduction, have complex chemistry, maintain homeostasis, and build up cells. We will now proceed to our activity. This activity will be posted on Google Classroom. You can click the link of Google Forms that is posted on Google Classroom under biology. And that concludes our lesson for today. Thank you for listening. See you next week for more learnings.